Cancer friends. Hello, 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 Cancer friends. The reading is for you now. I'll be taking a look into the year 2023 for you, and I'll do it by starting off with this huge, huge big deck called the Lemurian Star Child Oracle. And I'll pick one, we'll take one, we'll read it together, and then I'll speak of what I am sensing for you, and then have a mini grand tableau. Okay, so we have the card, Unlock Your Gifts. Unlock your gifts. Sacred gifts, energy senses, pure love is the key. Now, I have to say that what I am getting is that I do see you, Cancer, having recently, now when I say recently, it could be in the last year, as far as the last year. And you turning to or starting a spiritual awareness, some form of spiritual awareness, but you haven't got as far as you want because you seem to be weighed down by life's ups and downs that just condition you in some way. It's difficult for you to break away. And we'll see what the year 2023 has in store for you. Now, I have with me, I suggest that you all do, beyond the sun sign, I do think you should look at your moon and rising sign to get a clearer picture of the reading for the year 2023. These are Lenormand cards. The Lenormand cards are an oracle deck that was created, well, the jury's still out on who created it. There is a woman called Madame Lenormand in France, but the Germans have sort of taken the show from the French and created their own decks. Let's take a look. The decks, the German decks are similar to this, with a figure, a number, and suit, small card in the middle. And the French version is quite small, all little tiny different pictures. It's a little confusing, but it is the same. It has the same exact number of cards, 36. The Grand Tableau is a 36 card spread. Here I'm going to take an inner square of the Grand Tableau and use that to speak about the different seasons, trimesters of the year. And these cards all fall on a house, and the house has a particular meaning for the card that falls on that house. Now let me take a look. Okay, now the first trimester here is a period of time, January, February, March, is a period of time where you would like to, but you don't. You do go, but then you come back. You come back more anxiety-ridden than before. Your life occurrences and all of the things that you believe happen to you and not are responsible for, this is the period where it comes up, are still around you, And I suggest from the cards are suggesting, do go to your, if you have a dog, fine, that is where you will find solace, Cancer. And if you don't, think of getting a dog. Go to your local pound and choose one that comes right up to you. Cancer, this is what I'm getting. The second trimester, April, May, and June. April, May, and June is a little more, let's see, you come to your senses. You come to your senses and you start thinking that, all right, I can't just sit at home. I can't just sit here and worry my life away. And you start, I don't want to say strategizing. Strategizing is too strong of a word, but you start organizing your life. You organize your life in terms even of what comes in and what goes out. I'm talking about finances, money. And there is something that occurred in the first trimester and in December that has allowed you to receive a certain amount of money that you were not expecting prior to December. And it does give you a sense of security, that. And this is in April, May, and June. Then the next trimester, July, August, and September. July, August, and September here, there is a sort of méfier, they say in French. You don't trust. You don't trust a woman who is either part of your family, used to be part of your family, or is still part of your family. I'm thinking a wife, a companion, a lover, but they are very important for you nonetheless, whether they're in your life now or not. But there is sort of mistrust for that person in terms of ever getting back to the way we were, like the movie title goes. And you muse on that in that period, July, August, and September. A time where you would like to be somewhere else, but instead you're sitting there musing on things. And it sort of, it is an affirmation of the way things are today and not the way they were. But, you know, the mind does wander, the mind looks forward, the mind dreams, and your dreams seem to bring you to the small, tiny nightmare about a woman, and even if you're a man or a woman, doesn't matter, a woman who is in your life who you just don't trust. Now, the last, I was going to say quadrant, the last trimester, October, November, and December, is quite interesting for you, Cancer, because you're going to do something that you typically, characteristically do in your mind all the time. You want to go to a place that you call home. You're going to create your reign. You're going to create where you live and start to think of a possibility that it's possible to have another home. It's possible to create my own style of home, even if there might be somebody that's no longer in my life or that I don't trust. And I do see this happening, but with some difficulties. You know, there is, you do go through the motions of planning. This is a planning phase. October, November, and December. You're planning for the future to somehow have an arrangement in a new place, in a new home. This is what your ideas are at the end of the year. Now I'm going through the individual houses, as I call them, and talk about specific domains, specific areas of your life. For example, the area of the spread that considers endings and beginnings. This year, 2023, you navigate forward through endings and beginnings. And if there are none, Cancer, that's okay. You create them. You decide that there's an ending, and you decide in your mind that there's a beginning. And you know, it's sort of an interior dialogue, a monologue, really, that you have with yourself to reason and to keep yourself sane. Then the area of the spread that concerns surprises. That's where you sort of are not sneaky, but you don't trust. Again, there's this méfier, you're not trusting. The surprises, you don't care really for surprises. You know, if somebody's going to give you a gift, the first thing, Cancer, that you say is, no, 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 don't. But then when you do receive the surprise, you're very happy. You're really happy. But you don't, tend to want to allow yourself. It's the fear that creeps in usually. But here I see in the realm of surprises, you're sort of, keeping a watchful eye. And then the absolute endings. The absolute endings is has to do with a relationship that you had, or again had, have, or are nurturing, and that you, in your mind, will accept once and for all in 2023 that it's not what you want. You want the whole deal. You want something, the cat, the dog, the house, the driveway, the car, you want it all. Um, in uh, in the area of oral communication, you're coming back to a style that always speaks again of home. What I mean by that is your conversations when you speak with that person or with other members of the family will center around conversations of the home or house. What is the house? What does it mean for me? Yes, we live in this house now. I've lived here for so long, but I'm tired. I want to change that. Will that change anything for other members of the family? Well, let's talk about it. This is what you tend to do. Then the area of the spread that talks about your work or your livelihood. Here, there is sort of a feeling of anxiety. Maybe you don't like what you're doing. Maybe you are in for a change. Maybe you feel trapped. Or maybe your status quo, what your status is in terms of a livelihood, is creating some form of anxiety for you. But your sense of security, lo and behold, and this is the ambiguity here at Cancer, your sense of security has been buttressed, has grown strong in the year, and will grow strong in the year 2023. Guidance. You, oddly enough, and I always, tend to want to use that word ambiguous, but I'll use it. I used it once, I won't use it again for you. The sense of guidance, you are guided, lo and behold, by a sense of foreboding. If you feel that something negative could happen to you in the near future or in the future, that is what you tend to use as your guide, which is uncanny, but this is what happens. This is how you react, let's say. Then the domain, the area of the spread that has to do with the home. Here, it all revolves around a female figure. And I've mentioned that before. I'm going to mention it again because it's being stressed again. There is a female figure that in your mind is needed, is strong, is at the basis wherever you lay your hat, wherever you change, wherever you move, wherever you go, it will be the figure, a female figure that will lay the foundation for you. Whether that woman is with you, is near you, or not near you, that's how you think in 2023. Now, the area of your life, public life, that's a bit of a nuisance for you. Not a bit of a nuisance, it's downright something you don't want to do. You don't want to give your, air your dirty laundry in the public. You don't even want to talk about your clean laundry in the public. You just don't want to have others become privy to what you're doing. Any windfalls that you have earned, won, just drop in your lap. You don't want to talk about that. Obstacles, real obstacles in 2023. And this is odd, and I won't use the word ambiguous, but it is precisely the amount of money that was given to you out of the blue. Not out of the blue, it just came. You learned about it at the end of last year, about the, now I'm talking in December when I'm making this reading. It is this month that you learned about it, or you understood that something was coming your way, and that is what causes you concern. It causes you concern because you think, oh, now I have more problems than I had before. I have to, my tax returns have to be done in a certain way. It's going to cause me difficulty. I have to get an accountant. So all of these little ideas are being turned into a molehill. Now, the area of the spread that talks about decisions, well, you're in for a treat because decisions are going to be made in a different way. You're going to use, like I said, a certain kind of strategy. There is foreboding that, guides you, but it's a new game in 2023. It's not like the past. It's different because there's a spin on how you think. The way you think is also conditioned by what has come to you and what has left you: people, money, occurrences, relationships. And the area of the spread that talks about nuisances and problems, well, ladies and gentlemen, Cancer friends, those small problems like a flat tire or something like that, you turn that into something so insurmountable that it makes those people around you laugh a bit because they know how you are. But in 2023, it becomes even worse. Now, the area of the spread that talks about something hidden, the what is hidden and emerges is sincere friendship in the year 2023 that you didn't expect, or you have not fed or into, or you have not reached out to, but they will come up again in 2023. Matters of written communication, communication by email, snail mail, any kind of texts, something black on white, so to speak, will concern your sense of security. Then male influences in your life. Look, ladies and gentlemen, Cancer friends, whether you are a male or female, males, men in your life are going to be your allies. They will be your allies. And what is interesting in these different domains is that the female influences also are going to come off to you as if they were male. So you will only entertain some form of trust with a female if she is such a strong person, has such a strong influence that she appears to you as being stronger than you are if you were a male, and definitely stronger than you are if you are a female. So it's odd, but you get the gist. You get the gist. Beware of females, and stick and be allied with males. Now, that was some reading for you. Interesting, huh? Interesting. Cancer. Now I'd like to take the runes, and these runes are antler teeth that are found in the woods, and no one killed antlers. So let's see what they have to say. Let me turn them over. Okay. Okay. All right, now, let's start with Awats. Awats here is Merkstave. It's Merkstave, and Merkstave means upside down. Awats is talks of movement, shifts, changes of houses, changes of where you live, and gradual development, usually steady progress. But it's this in 2023 is going to be shifted forward to 2024. And we talked about the last trimester, October, November, December, when you start talking about the possibility of moving. It doesn't occur, but this definitely is in your year, and it will be on the brain. Then I have Tyr here. Tyr is a rune, it's sideways. So This is not exactly Merkstave. And what it talks to victory in competition. It talks to being extremely motivated. All of these are attenuated. They're softened in this position. An increase of money, yes, but it causes anxiety and not power, okay? Then we have Bjork Berkana, which is in this position. And here too, it talks, Bjork Berkana usually speaks to fertility, birth, family, new beginnings, romance, or some form of project. In this position, all of these are, again, attenuated, softened. The family, yes, is important. There may not be a birth. You may become pregnant if you're interested in that. New beginnings don't necessarily start, but they are sought after. Okay, things like that. And then I'm going to end on this beautiful, beautiful note. Soilo, one of my favorite runes. Victory, great power, and success. If and only if you can soften those anxiety ridden moments and ally with male figures and sort of keep your boundaries up with females. Oh, happy 2023 and happy holiday season, Cancer. It was a pleasure to read for you. Stay well, and I will be back to see you again. Bye-bye.